Good evening, everybody. We are going to start the annual Town of Forestville meeting, which is held Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 at 6:37 PM at the Town Hall located at 7701 County H in Sturgeon Bay. I am going to call the meeting to order. Because this is our annual meeting of electors, eligible Town of Forestville voters, whether landowner or not, will be approving last year's minutes. As we do roll call, please state your name and whether or not you are a township elector, and if you are not sure, just ask. Okay? Roll call.
Kevin Gillett,
Here.
Jason Clawhatch,
Here.
Larry Huber,
Here.
Dina Schmidt. Here. Teresa Clawhatch, present. David Samuels,
Here.
Lauren Eager.
Here.
I know your name is Nina.
Yes, here.
Gary Vandertide
Here.
and Joanne Bungle. Here.
And I'm assuming you're all electors, right? Everybody here is an elector? Okay, perfect. Can we do the pledge of allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Verification of public notice.
This posted on our website and at the town hall and at the clerk's office.
All right. Clerk's meeting minutes from April 16th, 2024, on the annual meeting. They were emailed to the board. Did anybody else have a copy of them? They were all passed out. Perfect. Everybody has the, yeah, which I'll give everybody a chance to announce, and then everybody will be voting on this. Has everybody had a chance to look them over? The motion to accept the meeting minutes? Are you gonna make the motion, David?
Yes, you make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from, last year's April 16th, 2024, and,
Do I have a second from anybody?
I'll send it, Joanne Bungle.
All right, I have a motion from David to accept the meeting minutes as presented for April 16th of 24, and a second from Joanne Bungle. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. They will carry and be accepted. The annual report by the clerk.
Our annual report, as you can see, was there at the top of the page and work our way down. The copies are cash that we had on hand at the beginning of the year in our town revenues. Our town money collected from others, that's basically the money we collect for the Southern North School District, NWTC, the Maplewood Sanitary, and our levy ourselves that we retain as a town. So that's where we get that $1,065,000 from that amount. The expenditures is what we spent for the year. The money collected from others, that's what I just stated, the money, basically it's an in-out transaction that the town takes care of. Our cash on hand and then our upper balances should be zeroed out. So then we go down to the left-hand side of the report, we go to town revenues. The first two is basically our levy for the year from the town and the Southern Door Fire Department. You can see the other different revenues we collected for the year. Our intergovernment revenue is our highway aids, our state levy, our state computer aids, our shared revenue. All that is our you can see the breakdown of our intergovernment revenue. Our license and permits, that's our beer license, our building permits and our zoning permits. So we can see the total for that for the year. Public charges, that's our garbage collection, and then sometimes we have delinquent property taxes that we collect. And then private work, that's the private work from that the county does for our citizens, and then we'll get back to the work that they wanted done, so. Then our miscellaneous income is, we have, the Door County Tourism Commission, we have interest from our CD from the, for the Southern Door Fire Department CD, then we have interest income on our general account. We have the tower rent, we have town hall rental, we have delinquent garbage that we collected. Then we have our broadband grant, we got, 15,650 this year. Our annual reimbursement from the Door County Tourism, and then a recycling rebate. So that's the total of our miscellaneous income, Mike was saying. Next, there's a cemetery account. We had that's basically the interest in the land rent that we have for the cemetery, and then we had a lot of perpetual care, so that's the total. Then I did include our loan proceeds for the year. Right at the end of the year, we ended up getting a loan for our Old Krieger Road. So that's that total for the loan, and then our total revenues is $979,584.75. So if you continue to the bottom of the page, then we have our expenditures, our general government has our salaries, and for the town board, as you can see, when we go to general administration, that's salaries for the town board, that's the poll worker and election expenses, the voting machine expense. So we can see the total for the general administration. The finance includes our assessor and our lawyer fees, our collection for our tax services. So that's our financial total. Then we go to the general building. That's our general bills, the sewer, the water, the telephone. That's that total. Then other governmental is the planning, permit refunds, our insurance, and then our curbside pickup for our garbage. And public safety, that's our Southern Door Fire Department levy, the 2% dues. Animal welfare, that's where we donate to Humane Society, and then our street lighting. Then public works is basically our roads, like snow control, their surface maintenance, traffic control signs. Then we did Old Krieger Road this year, so that was our major expense, and that's why we needed to take out a loan, because we knew we weren't going to be able to afford to pay for that loan, because the grant that we received, in order to get the grant, we have to pay for the road up front, and then we get reimbursed for the road. So we're in the process of getting reimbursed for that road right now. So we should get reimbursed for what, next couple of months, you think, Kevin? 6 months?
Won't even be that long.
So then we're gonna pay off the loan right away, and then we should be good, so. Then we go to our cemetery expense, that's tree removal, and then the maintenance of the cemetery and the ball field and the committee, so that's expenses of $2,700. Then we go to our recreation and cultural, that's our website, library, we donate to them. So our total expenditures are $713,304.12. Then the next section of our report is basically the breakdown again of what we collected and paid to our schools, our Maplewood Sanitary. And then we have our Southern Door Fire Department, that's where we pay the 2% dues, right? That's what that is, that's an in-out transaction that we pay for them. Then our summary of cash is there, you can see what we have in our LGIP, money market, checking, cemetery, and broadband. And then, Ruth always did it this way, she did the total receipts minus what was advanced in taxes paid. So you can see what that total is, and then the last part is we have a CD for the Southern Door Fire Department, and that's the total of $138,602.47. So our total accounts is $726,892.72. Then we just have a breakdown of our cemetery account. We just wanted to show you the balance, the receipts. We basically had one plot we sold, so we increased our balance of that account by $200. Anybody have any questions about the report?
I have one little question.
Yeah.
telephone bill is so high. What all is that include?
Really, we have the telephone because of the voting machine
I know,
is why we have that thing.
and it's that much for a year?
We're actually gonna might be getting rid of our landline this year. We're in the process of going through a cellular service with the voting machine. But that's still in the works yet, but we would get charged a monthly fee for the cellular service from the county, so it's might just be.
In one way or the other?
Yeah, yeah. so-
No, I just thought that sounded like an awful lot for that subject.
Well, but that also
But I
includes.
don't know.
And it is-
It's a land-
Internet,
Yeah.
and internet,
Includes the internet here.
yeah, so.
It does
anybody-
include the
Yeah.
internet here?
So yeah,
Okay.
so when you're here,
Okay.
you can just use the internet for free, you can just
That
log on,
explains.
yeah,
Yeah.
so a lot of people,
DSL line.
yeah. That's a major part of our,
Okay.
cell
Yeah.
phone, or our
Thank you.
telephone bills, our internet, so.
And I think we looked at changing that, but with the voting machine, we could not at that point in time.
Yes, it's a two,
Right.
it's a two club.
Yeah. So we're kind of forced right now.
Right.
Future, we feel things all play out. On the annual report. Do I need to make a motion?
We should probably.
That we accept the motion where it is. I'm looking for a motion to accept the annual report as presented.
Angle.
The annual, financial report.
I'd make that motion.
Okay, I got it. I got a second? Okay. I have a motion by Larry to accept the annual financial report as presented. And a second by Lauren Eaker. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Okay. Chairman's comments. Well, it's been a busy year. Here are some of the things this town board has worked on and we're able to get done for you. First off, I'd like to thank Larry and Jason for the years of service. You,
I'll second
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you guys have done a great job and endless amount of time.
that. It's been a pleasure working with you too.
Not like he's going away.
Well, I know, you know,
Keep him busy.
which is a good thing, I guess. Second, I'd like to welcome Lauren and Dave as new members to the town board. And I'd like to thank Dina and Teresa for continuing to serve with us. So. thank you guys as well. With the changing of the town clerk last year, we needed to make some changes to how we interact with our citizens. Because the clerk and other board members have full-time jobs in addition to serving on the town. We opened a PO box in Forestville, installed a drop box at the town hall for paperwork and drop off and pickup, installed a code door lock that we can change for town hall rentals. And this has been working very well and we've received great feedback. So I'm assuming most of everybody has seen how that all has been transpiring and it makes it easier. So if our constituents can't get to wherever, we just put it in the drop box, give them the code, they pick it up, we drop it off, and things just seem to be working pretty seamless. So, if anybody has any suggestions or any other ideas that would make things better for you as the public, please feel free. I'm sure we'd be more than happy to implement them. Next item, we were able to replace part of County Line Road from 42 to Old Krieger and all of Old Krieger to make it a new truck route out of Forestville for safety, okay? Because at that point, everything had to be, it was a Class B road, you could not go down, they were junk. So our traffic had to be directed basically through the village, which was unsafe on every single level you could possibly think of. So finally, we were able to get something done. And this was done with a state grant for 90% of the cost. This was a big win for the town, to say the least. Which is, as we went through this budget here, or balance sheet, we had to borrow the money in order to pay for that. We have the last pieces of paper in hand that will be turned in after tonight's regular board meeting. And then in a couple of weeks, we should have those funds back. So we'll pay that note off and what little interest we had and move forward with the rest of it. The fire chief, Mr. Rich Olson, has reported that the fire department is running very well after the split, and team morale is the best that has been for years. Also, the firemen purchased a new brush truck with the funds that they raised from the firemen's picnic. A big thank you to all our firefighters and who support that picnic. So, good job, you guys. Next item. I want to give a big thank you to Randy, Dina, Schmidt, and the family for donating land to the trail. This is where we can connect the trail to the park. Without the donation, we couldn't move forward with the rest of the thought patterns on the park. So, thank you guys.
Very well.
Well received.
Yes. At elections, people were very excited about the property, about the new park. People wanted to donate. I mean, they're like, right here at this park. I'm like, yeah, right here, it's gonna be happening. So we had a lot of positive response with the park.
No, feel free.
Yeah.
We received a grant for $33,737 to improve the trail from the Door County Community Foundation. There's our copy of our check. 500 from the Bay Lake Bank. To help with the tree planting as well on the trip. We're continuing to look for grants and donations. Our goal is to install new bathrooms, playground equipment, and a pickleball court. I want to say a big thank you to Erin, who lives right across the road, and I probably slaughtered her last name, so I don't know if anybody can help me with that one.
Yes, Aaron Fritsch.
Fritsch.
Yes,
Yeah. How do you say that?
Fritsch.
Fridge.
yeah, Fridge.
Yeah.
She has been writing the grants and working endlessly. Could not say enough about that individual. Everybody working on this thing is donating all of their time. So 100% of the funds are going to the park. So the bad news. The bad news is, we have to have a full property assessment value within 10% of the full value. It is mandated by law every 5 years. Wisconsin statute, the estimated cost to redo the valuation is between 75 and 80,000 for 2025. This will be our 5th year without a reevaluation. We received the first notice after this year's budget was done. So it will be included in the 26 budget. If we don't schedule it ourselves, the state will send out a company basically forcing us to do it, and we will have to pay the cost. And I can assure you it'll be more than what the estimated costs are on our end. So. As far as broadband is concerned, we are waiting to hear back from the state on the funding so we can move forward with it. Which we don't really know when that will take place. They're saying fall, that we would at least get some information, but that's about as far as we know at this point in time. So I think a lot of the funding in the government side is up for question here. In closing. It's been an honor to serve you as your chairman for the past term. And I look forward to the next term. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, item number 7, citizens input and questions. Next is our citizens input and questions. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, this is your chance to let the board know. No decision can be made at this meeting for new or old business, but the board will take into consideration anything said. If I feel it is appropriate, I can take an advisory vote of the electors on a topic to be presented. So we'd at least see how the public feels on it. So, does anybody have anything they'd like? We can start on this side of the room on Lauren's table and we work our way around. Dave? None?
I would like to comment that I would greatly applaud the Schmitz and anybody else that was working on the parkway, if, for lack of a better term. So I want to give them a round of applause. So, thank you very much. And then Kevin, secondly, as far as Old Creek Road, when will that open to truck traffic?
It has been open.
Okay, it's still signed as Class B, so.
Yep. Did that get taken care of today? Hey, Mr. Harley.
What's that?
Did the posted sign get taken care of today?
Yep.
It's gone. So they were
It
left up
wasn't
there.
as of 6 o'clock.
Now, substation road?
Yeah, did we take down the posted sign that was standing on Old Krieger?
No,
No, we didn't.
no, I took the sign that was by your place.
Yep.
Put it up from,
On Old Substation.
yep, from Krieger.
And then the one that was standing is still sitting there? On Old Krieger, the old one that was existing?
Never took it down.
Okay. It'll be done here within the next
I got
year or two.
I got a post, hold it up. The post is, the post is in almost substation road, yeah, the post is up, it's just.
The sign's up.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes,
Okay.
that was all in process of happening as far as that went, but the county didn't take that particular sign down, they left it up.
Okay.
They took the other end down.
Okay,
So if they're coming from that other end. Which is where most of the truck traffic would come because of the highway,
yeah,
they're never gonna see the other side. But yes, it will be gone, I'm sure, within the next week or so.
but I just, got somebody involved and, it's the season, so.
Yes, thank you for that.
It will continue to be Class B though, east of Old Creek Road.
Correct, that's where the new ones are gonna go out.
But, that's fine, I just, that traffic around Forestville is gonna be greatly appreciated to be avoided, so.
Well, you've got church and bars and kids and God knows what else there.
All done. And then kind of blind intersection.
Oh, that around that curve is horrible with a vehicle, much less a semi loaded with, I don't know how many tons of whatever. Thank God we got that done. That was, I honestly can't believe somebody isn't dead.
Thank you for that as well.
You're welcome.
Well, it was 6 years trying to get grant money too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you couldn't have done that without
The state.
the funds, I mean. And and just saying this, just so you guys, everybody knows, the original bid was $500 and some thousand, okay, but you go to the engineering firm and this was what the anticipated number was. Then once we got accepted for the funding, then we go to presenting the bid to whomever would want to bid on it, which ended up being Northeast Asphalt in the county. The county cannot take a job away from a private contractor unless they're 10% less than the competing bid. Well, they were well under the 10%. So they won the bid. But then the county can't charge us any more than what it actually costs them in equipment, materials, and labor, right? The exact cost, that's by law. So even by that, by the time we got done, you were like under $400,000, which was absolutely awesome to have that done. We still are only gonna get 90% of that, but still, 10% of 400 is better than 10% of 500, any way we wanna look at that, right? And we got a beautiful road. We did mention to the county if they would be interested in taking that over. Because right now it's to a county standard, you know, 4 inches thick, the width and the shoulder length and all this stuff. Thad is running that up the flagpole. I don't know where that'll go. The county doesn't, they got a little bigger budget, obviously, than any townships do, or at least especially ours. So we would be willing to do that if they want to accept it, but I don't know that that'll actually happen, because they don't have to accept it. But we, as a board, presented it and asked, because if they don't take it, this would be our only time actually to give it. Because they don't want to have to put a dime into it until later on. So if something changes, that's what we would end up doing. But you'd be able to catch that on the regular board meetings if you. Yes, sir.
Put this sign in the wrong spot. Somebody's looking back on my map, we put it on Old County Line Road, or County Line Road.
You did, but you put it on the section that was undone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal, just so our members and constituents understand this. County Line Road is split Kiwanee and Door, so we have a memorandum of understanding. And we take care of the first section of that, which goes about a quarter of a mile past Old Krieger. And then Anapee Township takes care of the other part of that. That's why you'll probably never see anything done beyond that part, okay? But that's how it is. So we are posting, because if we let the traffic go down that road, number one, there will be nothing left to it. And then Old Substation, with it being so wet and moist in that swampy area, had just got done a year or two ago. The last thing I want is volume of trucks running there. So that's why the board has posted Old Substation, so you can't run down Old Substation. And just past County Line in Old Krieger, we're stopping the rest of that. Because there's no reason you can't just use the dedicated road to get you back to the county road, J. Go past my place and you can have wherever you need to go. So that's where that's at. But we'll just fix the signs and put them wherever they gotta be and all will be well. Any other public comments? Anything from, you guys are all constituents, anything from our members? All right, hearing none, we will move on. Any other business to be transacted? Okay, hearing none, we're gonna set the annual meeting for April 21st, 2026 at 6:30 PM here at the town hall. I am looking for a motion for adjournment. Yeah.
Our town board meetings, annual meetings supposed to be the 15th of April?